I've heard before, I can't do that for you because if I do that for you, I have to do it for everybody. But in certain circumstances.
Hello and welcome back, leaders, to another episode of the LeadHer Lounge. Today we are going to talk about when you are leading a team member that is going through a difficult situation in their life. And this is something that is not going to happen one time, two times, three times. It's going to happen forever because life is always changing, it's very challenging, and we always, as humans, go through so many things, so many hard situations that you're going to have those team members, those employees confronting that as well and still working with you. So today we want to just give you some ideas of what you can do or start doing to protect yourself, protect your team, and the most important thing, to help that team member. Because you're gonna notice that they have low engagement, you're gonna notice their mood changes. If you're a good leader, you're gonna notice all of those things.
Yeah.
If you have social awareness, you're gonna notice how much that team member needs from you. So yes, we're gonna dive into those three things. And the first one is to build psychological safety.
Yeah. I think we have experienced this because we've led so many people in our lives, but someone's always going through something.
Yes.
And sometimes it's just something that affects you for a day. Sometimes it's something that is ongoing. But I know when we have had team members on our team who are experiencing, maybe it's just like they had a bad run-in with a fellow teammate or something like that, and they just need to talk it out. They need a safe space to be able to do that. Or especially if they are going something that is very traumatic, or they're losing a parent, or maybe they're going through a divorce. Like, those are things where they need a safe space, whether it's you as the leader or it's their work bestie. Like, we need to be able to give them a space where they feel safe and comfortable self-managing in that way, talking with someone, talking it out so that they can be more productive at work, because holding it in is just going to make it worse and harder. So giving them grace, like if they need to pull someone aside for 15, 20 minutes and just say like, this is what I'm going through. Like, I'm feeling really stuck. I don't know what to do. Let them get that out and give them that grace to have that space.
Yeah, and with that, confidentiality is key. You need to make sure that whatever they share with you, you need to keep it to yourself, unless, this is the caveat, when they are sharing something that they're going to harm themselves.
Yeah.
You have the responsibility, whether they're your employee, your friend, your family member, to share that with somebody and help them to really find help. Otherwise, you are there to listen. And we are not asking you to be a therapist. We don't have the skills to give advice, and we're just there to support, to be curious, to learn, to see what we can do that is in our control to help that specific team member. But again, you don't give advice that you don't know, especially if you haven't gone through that specific situation. It's hard to give advice and just like, do this, try this, journal. No, just listen. Sometimes they don't need you to tell them what to do. They just need you to care, to listen, and to provide that safe space.
And potentially provide resources too. Because I know in a lot of organizations, especially when they have like HR in place and everything, they have an employee assistance program.
Yes.
So if they are going through a really tough time, if they do share, unfortunately, like, I'm thinking about harming myself or others, like, here's this EAP document. It's got free therapy. It's got a hotline you can call if you need to talk to someone. So those are really good options. So yes, giving them that space, but also knowing what resources are available to you as a leader, because again, you're not their therapist and you should not have all the answers. You're just there for support.
Yes. And something that we talked earlier as well about this one is to like set up, and I think you were mentioning to set up adjustments. Like maybe you can, if it is under your control, maybe they can start 30 minutes earlier, maybe they can start 30 minutes later, depending of what their needs are as well.
There was a specific situation, and when we're talking about these accommodations, I want to be very mindful that there's ways to be equal and then there's ways to be equitable. And one thing that I was thinking about before coming as on the way in today was, quick pause, leaders. Here's a leadership development resource courtesy of Monarch Coaching.
The Monarch Leadership Program isn't just another training. It's a full transformation for leadership teams. Through our proven blend of emotional intelligence, communication, and culture-focused development, we help teams build stronger trust, alignment, and connection from the inside out. And here is the thing, lasting change often starts with one leader who's brave enough to advocate for it. If that sounds like you, your voice could be what brings this kind of growth to your entire organization. Visit the link in the description to learn more about the Monarch Leadership Program and how to share this with your company. Transform your culture, empower your leaders, and elevate your organization.
Now back to our conversation. I've heard before, I can't do that for you because if I do that for you, I have to do it for everybody. But in certain circumstances, that should not be the case. Now, if this is a situation where an employee is like, I want to skip my mandatory 30-minute lunch because I want to leave 30 minutes early for my shift, that's a want, right? That's not something that you need to accommodate. But if it is, I need to start my shift on Wednesdays 30 minutes early so I can leave 30 minutes early so that I can make it to a medical treatment that I have, or whatever that looks like for them, that's a unique need that needs to be accommodated. That shouldn't be something where you're like, no, I can't do that because if I do it for you, I have to do it for everybody,
Yes.
right?
And that's actually our second point, is balancing compassion and balancing accountability. So is this something that you want or something that you actually need? And you accommodate things that they need, specifically when they have certain situations. So that's the perfect segue for the next one. And when we need to just be transparent as well with the expectations and your role, it doesn't mean that you're going to share with them, okay, as a leader, this is my role and I'm not doing this. No, you tell yourself, I'm a leader. I need to protect myself, to protect others, to protect my team, because I'm not just leading this team member. So just think about how you can hold this team member accountable still while being compassionate, while helping them through this difficult situation, which is not easy. It's not easy at all.
No, I think it was very challenging because we've gone through this too. We're very experienced, but we've gone through this where the example I'll share is the work from home, return to office mandate that we had, where we had an employee who had children that were still remotely going to school, and she was being told you have to come back to the office. And if you don't come back to the office, you're at risk of losing your job. And for a while there, we were able to accommodate in some circumstances, okay, if you can't find childcare, you can work from home. Well, at some point that unfortunately was taken away.
Oh, yes.
And we realized that this is an accommodation that she needed like ongoing. There was no end date in sight for this. And at that point we realized maybe this is just not the right company for you to be working at anymore. And the values aren't aligned. And it was a tough conversation to have because she loved working there and we loved having her. She's an amazing person and employee, but at that point it was like, we can't accommodate you anymore. And now you're at a point where you have to try and choose your family or your work. And neither one of us want that for you. So obviously you need to focus on your family. And eventually over time, she was able to find a remote position, which was great. But that was a tough one of like, there is a timeline on this. And there is a moment in time where we have to say, if this is an ongoing accommodation that we can't ongoingly accommodate, we need to look at, is this the right fit for you?
Yes, I remember that situation, and in some point you have to even ask, like, how can we make this work for the both of us? Because again, you're representing the company. You represent your team members, your employee. Everybody is represented by you. So it is hard. You're in a tough position, but you need to make sure that still you're holding those team members accountable, because everyone goes through so many different situations, and some people share, some people don't. And those who share, you have more opportunity to help them and do things for them. But those who are quiet, and please don't pry. Don't try to get that information if they don't want to share it.
Yeah.
Just do as much as you can. Still show that curiosity, but don't pry. And that's going to protect, which is our third one, your team dynamic. Because again, you're not just leading one person, you're leading a whole team, sometimes 14, 15 people, and how you can make sure that there is no gossip about the situation because that happens. We're humans. We like the gossip.
People are the most interesting thing.
Yes.
We like to talk about people.
Yes, we like to know what's going on and why this person is with the leader right now in the office, or what they're talking, why she's crying, why he's angry. Like, you want to know everything, but you need to respect that. So don't gossip. You're the first person who need to be like, no, don't share.
Yeah.
That, and as much as you can, ask your team members to be kind with a person. Those team members are the ones going through that situation, the ones that can share or not share.
Yeah.
Yes, and it is good to share sometimes as much as they can and they feel comfortable with, because people now understand, okay, I need to act a little bit different with this person. If I notice that they are quiet, I'm going to respect that. Extra kind, all those things, because sometimes we need that different different behaviors in different situations.
Yeah, I know that you can't avoid the situations of this person's coming in 30 minutes late. Oh, this person's been having an hour-long conversation with like John, who's not their leader. Like, why are they allowed to do all this where they're basically not working all of a sudden? Yeah. But like you were saying, Erica, showing compassion and letting the team know maybe too, just like, we just have to show a little bit more compassion to this person for a moment, because they are experiencing something where they need this accommodation. So if we can just be supportive and compassionate, like, we don't need to ask questions. If they want to share with you, they will share. If you want to check in with them, you can, but setting those expectations of don't ask them like, what's wrong? Because that could be really uncomfortable for them to share. And you don't want to, that goes back to the psychological safety. You want to create very safe spaces for them.
Yeah. And hopefully you have been building your team throughout this time, and they understand that if somebody is feeling differently, is because something is going on, and we are going to respect that. And just trust me, I know what is going on with this team member. Just let's be extra kind. And sometimes we used to, when we knew like somebody was grieving, we used to do a handwritten letter, and everybody was just signing just to show something a little bit. You don't have to be so invasive, yeah. You don't have to be so invasive and just be, like, how you're feeling today. And, like, just a little to show something, even extra small, but it shows that, like, the team is caring as well, and that they have that support system. Sometimes that's what we need, support system. Yeah. And to know that we have people behind us. And again, leaders, protect yourself, because if not, you are not going to be able to lead the other 10 team members that you have. You need to protect it. When we care so much, and I'm saying it because of us and our personalities, when we care so much, we carry that to home, and we feel bad all day. And it's okay to feel that, because we're humans, and we have that empathy, but you need to protect yourself, because compassion is not to carry someone's pain, is to walk alongside with them, and with understanding and with curiosity and with empathy, but it's just protecting yourself as well as we go. So again, life goes through a lot. Outside of the walls of the office, we have political issues, religious issues, environmental issues. So many things going on that we do have to be empathetic. We cannot ignore. We cannot go like, this is work and you have to leave everything outside. No, nobody's leaving anything outside. No. Those are like old mentality of leadership.
Leave your emotions at the door.
No, why? No one. We're humans. Emotions are part of
We're not robots.
Yes. So acknowledge those situations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thank you all for tuning in today. This can be a really sensitive topic. Obviously, when you have team members in your life that you care about, you want to be able to accommodate them however you can. So be sure to partner with your leaders, your HR partners, to really learn what your options are and what your resources are. But be a human. Don't avoid human behavior. Don't avoid emotion. This is something that's very real and happens daily. within your teams. So let us know if you got some best practices from today. We'd love to hear it in the comments below. If you're experiencing anything that's similar to this and you're available to post and vulnerable enough to post, we'd love to be able to read your experiences and be able to help you however we can. Obviously, if you have not already, please subscribe.
And thank you again to our friends at Velocity for this beautiful studio. And we will see you next week, leaders.
Bye.